Good afternoon, cadets. This is Commander Andrews. Welcome to a very foggy Recife, and this will be our flight number 5. We are flying to Belém today. It is 4:30 in the afternoon, and we're going to take off shortly, and we are going to have a night landing, as opposed to our previous flight, where we had a night takeoff. So, I'm very excited, raring to go. Let's get this show on the road. Right, so here we are, familiar sight. Let us get going. Everything seems per normal except for the weather, but that's what makes it fun and different. Going upstairs, let's get things moving. I've forgotten what to do next. Okay, so let's see. Ah, yes, there we go. That's a good start. Brilliant start. And the emergency lights on. Immediately I'm going to go upstairs, get the navs on, and get that heading on. Right. Now we've done that, I am going to go down to our FMC. Good day, FMC. FS actions, and we're going to connect the ground power. Waiting for the ground power to connect. There we go. Ground power is on. Okay, so at 4:30 in the afternoon, it is actually already quite dark. I'm going to, I think, turn on some lights, to be honest, to be frank. The screens have not come on yet. That is a little worrisome, but hopefully they'll come on soon. Right. Just turn on some lights here, so turn things up so we can see a bit better. We don't really need this one, the circuit breaker light. We'll turn this one up. Okie dokie. Let's check our checklist. Battery is onto ground power. And we've got the dome light on. We don't need that yet. And we've set the IRS settings. Let's turn on the window and probe heat. There we go. So now we're going to prepare our departure. Down to the FMC. We are going to go to menu, FMC, pause in it, next page, grab these coordinates, previous page, put it in. Right, we are currently at Recife. ICAO code is SBRF. Let's get that in. And that'll be our reference airport. We are at gate 17, if I remember correctly. Let's just get old nav map over here. Get old little nav map over here. We are at gate 17. So this is our flight. We've already put the flight plan into our little nav map. There we go. Going to be flying at 36,000. And it is, according to little nav map, 906 nautical miles, which is interesting because Flight Simulator itself says 923 nautical miles. I'm not going to be bothered too much about that. We're having a look at the wind direction, so we are expecting to take off on runway 18. So we'll be taxiing all the way to the other side of the airport. That's typical. And then take off in the opposite direction to where we want to go. So we'll be doing a hard right turn and then continuing west. So that's little nav map we can put away. We did say gate 17. This is the part that the FMC never recognized. Oh, it does. Well done. There we go. Very good. Route, origin, once again, SBRF. And our destination is Belém. The airport is called Valdecaes, or C-A-E-S, Valdecaes. Not sure how you pronounce it. But we'll be taking off from Guarapes Gilberto Freire International in Recife. And I think that's going to be the last time I'm going to need to pronounce this airport. We are now going to the destination SBBE. Okay, and we are expecting a runway, according to the weather, as I said. We are expecting runway 18. 18. Okay. The legs. I'm going to put in an immediate SBBE. We'll worry about how we're getting into SBBE on our descent. Otherwise, there's just not much to do on the descent. Whoopsie daisy. We can activate that. So let's have a look. Our screens have come alive. There we go. Excellent. And execute. Jolly. Right. Takeoff stats. Whew. We've spent far too much time in Recife and I've forgotten how to fly the 737. 2 weeks now. My apologies. Alright, so 0 fuel weight, we'll put that in. And we're going to be flying, let me just get my view correct here. Whee! There we go. Right, what was I saying? We're going to be flying at 36,000. 360, we can put that up there. We're not worried about that. We're going to put in 5 reserve and cost index of, let's say, 25. Execute. N1 limit. We're not going to worry about that page. Takeoff. We're going to be taking off on flaps 5. Right, we've got our rotation speeds here. Rotation at 129. So we'll rotate at 130. CG. We'll put that in, 23.7, which means the trim is 5.57. And it's always going to be 5.57 when you're using the default load of the PMDG 737-600. So let's go to our trim. Let's remember that this time. We have been forgetting it in the past. Interestingly enough, this trim during flight is automatic and motorized, and that's what the problem has been with the 737 MAX, that they've put an automatic gizmo into it, and then the plane's been thinking that it's stalling when it's not, and it's just been fighting the pilots. Whoops. You would turn these switches off down here to turn off the automatic motorized trim. Okay, trim is set, route is set, landing takeoff parameters are set, and yeah, we can say FMC is programmed, flight is programmed. So yes, now that we've done that, we are going to get this baby started. Whoops. Okay, let's just go up here and slide along. That's the best way to do it. Alright. We can go flight directors on. Indicated airspeed, we'll take 250. Whoa. I'm trying to look at something else while doing that at the same time. Not a good idea. This is why you need 2 pilots in these big boys. So, I'm having a look at the direction that it wants us to take, so I'm just going to roughly match that with the heading bug. go. That'll be good to me. Altitude, we're going to take to 36,000 feet. Okie dokie, we all look good there. We've set the barometer to local QNH. And right, I think we're about to contact ATC. Seatbelt sign is on auto. Your dampers we're going to turn on. Cabin pressure we're going to set to 36. I'm hearing raindrops on the windshield. Is there raindrops? Oh yes, oh yes. We're going to have to turn on our wipers for the first time. Isn't that going to be exciting? I'm not being sarcastic either. So, what we were busy with, that is all sorted. We can put the APU bleed on. We are pretty much ready to contact ATC. Now, if you remember in the past, when we've had the airports where we've had to do a pushback, we've had issues with the pushback. I believe I've sorted it out, and I believe, well, I'll show you what I mean when we get there. Recife ground, we're going to be departing west, please.
Recife ground, Commander 736 with Alpha, request taxi for takeoff west departure.
Commander 736, Recife ground airport is currently IFR.
Okay, so
Request denied.
the airport is IFR, so what we're going to do, we're not going to do an IFR flight yet. I'm just going to opt to ignore the weather warning at this airport, so the weather stays there, but they're going to allow us to leave. Learning curves.
Recife ground, Commander 736 request taxi for west departure with Alpha.
Commander 736
There we go.
to and halt short of runway 18 using taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 122.8 when ready.
Runway 18, what we were expecting.
Taxiing hold short runway 18 using taxiway Alpha, Commander 736.
Sure. Okay. That was exhausting. Sure, and we haven't even started yet. Woo! Great fun. Okay, so let's have another look outside. Yeah, that's definitely an IMC airport. IMC meaning Instrument Meteorological Conditions, in which case you have to fly IFR, which is Instrument Flight Rules. Okay, let's turn those on. Right, aft fuel pump on. We are ready to get this thing started. We need to turn the... oh, do you know what? I've completely forgotten to turn on the APU. Woo. That's what flying around in a Icon A5 is going to do. To do that, yes, we need that fuel pump on. Hope I didn't turn it on too late. There we go. Right, so the APU is turning on. Now all we're doing is waiting for this little light here to turn on. There she is, she's on. And now we can go to APU power. And then go off on the ground power and switch to APU and the battery switches. Now that that's been done, we can tell them to disconnect the generator and the stairs and close the door. And there's a quick way to do that. So instead of you going through to release the ground power, then close the door, then remove the stairs, all you need to do is remove the chocks. Then everything happens at once. They disconnect the ground power, they disconnect the stairs, and they close the door. Because if you give the instructions to remove the wheel chocks, they assume that you're about to be on your way. Okay. That means we are ready for pushback. Now, this is what I figured out. This number here is important. Distance to taxi line is 262. Now, this is where nav map, little nav map, comes in very handy. If we zoom in, we can see, okay, the distance from the plane to the taxi line. Well, all we do is use our measuring tool. And that, we just right click here, measure distance from here to the taxi line. And that tells us 318 feet. There we go. Once we've got that, put little nav map aside, and we key in a 318 feet, put it in there. Now we know the distance to the taxi line. We are going to select a tug, the TPX 200. We are not going straight out, we're going to go standard left. So we want to taxi all the way down there, so we want our nose pointing to the left as we come out, tail to the right. Turn nose left. Right, hold thumbs everyone, let's hope this works.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for push and start, tail to the right.
Okay, while we're hoping this works, we're going to start the engines.
Push, tail to the right. Parking brakes release, please. Brakes released.
Right. Double checks, triple checks. Fuel pumps on. APU bleed is on. We did turn that on.
Brakes released. Here we go.
Right engine. Okay, well, we're moving back. That's always the first good sign. Right, can hear the right engine starting. Throw in that fuel. She's caught. I can go ahead and start the left engine. Engine number 1. Moment of truth. Beginning to turn. I think it's working. Oh, she's jerky today. Lovely. I love it when a plan comes together. Alright, let's get that other engine started. Okay, so it's a bit of a learning curve where to measure your distance from. So it's the front of the plane, I think, the nose of the plane when you're measuring your distance in little nav map.
Pushback complete. Parking brake set.
Great. Right. The left, and there we go. Engine 1 is now running. We can go back overhead. We can turn the power onto Gen 1 and Gen 2. And the battery switches to Gen 1, and we can turn off the APU, and we can turn on the air packs. Very important. Landing altitude we forgot to set, but we're basically on sea level, but I'm going to just put it to 100. I don't usually like to have it on 0. Just a little bit above. Okay, we did forget to choose an engine starter, an engine igniter, but you know, you can still have it on both, it's fine. Right, we are good to start our taxi. I am going to... We're on our way. Now, this is going to be one hell of a long taxi. While we're taxiing, I don't know what you all thought about the announcement of the new Flight Simulator 2024. Obviously 2024 being next year. So, poor old Flight Sim 2020, even though there was a big hoo-ha about it coming out the first time, only was around for 4 years. And they're saying it's not just a mere update, it's saying they are... it's a whole new flight simulator that you'll have to purchase. I'm not sure why they just didn't update this one, but I think old Jonathan Beckett on YouTube did a very good article about it, and I believe aircraft like our 737-600 will be compatible. We don't have to buy it again, thank goodness for that. Right, let's just check that we're not clipping some tails here. Probably going faster than but it's alright. Do have a long way to taxi. Oh, they've got Mike's Kitchen has got an aircraft. Okay, cool. Right, we're just going to add that flap. We need 5 degrees flap for takeoff. We're going to do that so long. We probably could have turned left here onto the runway and taken off from the middle, like we did the other airport. I think it was Windhoek. Anywho's. Let's stick to that center line. Bad habits. And yeah. It is getting a bit darker. Before we caught unawares, let's just turn a bit of lighting on the panels here. Just a touch. Hey, we've got a serial number. Now, is that the serial number for the aircraft? Up on the top left of the window here. I didn't notice that before. Right, let's get old ATC up. Tune the tower. We would like to... Wait, we need to move a little bit forward. They're not happy with us. That's a bit silly, hey? There we go.
Recife Tower Commander 736 at runway 18 ready for departure west departure.
Commander 736, hold short runway 18. Traffic is twin jet on final.
We've got traffic on final.
Hold
That's
short runway
interesting.
18 Commander 736.
I don't see any traffic on final. I hope we don't have to wait here long. Okay, now I see it. Goodness gracious me. So while we're waiting, I'm looking at the flight path here, and we can see our heading bug. I'm just going to turn it a little towards this way. So we're going to be taking off in this direction. So we want to intercept our flight path before we go onto LNAV. Quite pretty.
Commander 736 altimeter 29er.9er, 4 wind 172 at 10. West departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 18.
Thanks, bub.
121.850553.
Cleared for takeoff runway 18 Commander 736.
Finally. It's silly that this holding point is so far away from the actual runway. It must be because it's such an angle. Okie dokie. Let's turn them landing lights on. Yeah, look at that windsock. Okie dokie, people. Let's just double check those flaps and we're at 5. We're not. Now we're at 5. Okay, we're good to go. Take off. I'm guessing it's going to be quite a sight when we get above these clouds. 130.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Okay, we're almost immediately going to be going
Commander 736
instrument.
continue for west departure. Commander 736 leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Okay, begin our turn to the right. Let's throttle back a bit. Now we keep an eye on those instruments. Oh dear, we forgot to turn on the wipers, but there's no point in having them on now. Okay, start bringing the flap up. Oh, I need to say something to...
Recife Tower Commander 736 frequency change.
Okay, we are in the cloud. Let's scootle over to let's turn that auto throttle on. We're going to turn autopilot on. heading we're going to turn on. Now, just a little nervous to turn on this altitude. There we go. Now we want to climb, please. Do a climb to 1.8. Everything is under control. We need to go flaps up the rest of the way. We were still on 1. Could tell by the red markers on the airspeed indicator. There we go. Flaps should all be up. Right. We are now heavily in the cloud.
Recife Tower Daughter Yankee Victor, Hotel Hotel Hotel, 13 miles northwest, inbound ILS Whiskey Runway 18 approach.
Wow, look at that.
Daughter Yankee Victor, Hotel Hotel Hotel, Recife Tower. Altimeter 29er, forewind 172 at 10. Cleared ILS Whiskey Runway 18 approach.
What a glare. Goodness gracious. Okay, but there we go. Look at that. Climbing through 5.5.
Azul 89er Recife Tower. Altimeter 29.95, wind 172 at 10. Cleared ILS Whiskey Runway.
Is that the sun directly ahead of us? I think it is.
Cleared ILS Whiskey Runway 18
Wow.
approach, Azul 89er.
Okay. We are getting close enough to our path that I can switch on to LNAV. Plane should do a slight turn to the... Oh, you know, it's anyone's guess actually. Usually it'll turn slide right to get onto the line. I think it knows it's close enough now. It's just going to fly straight and then a gentle left to get on track. And let's pull over a little nav map. There we go. Look at that. Look at that climb and that flight path. I don't think you get any more efficient than that. And we're on our way. According to little nav map, top of descent is in 790 nautical miles. 1 hour 46. Destination, this is a 2 hour 10-minute flight. What the little nav map doesn't show, I think it does if you can just drag this up slightly, you can see our path over there. What it doesn't show, oh, there's the sun directly ahead. In our eyes, what we do in that case is we get our where is it? It's around here somewhere. I think it's in there. Oops! Put that up and then you slide it along. Hey, look at that. Pretty cool. Then if you want to get really fancy, oh, where is it? I don't have it installed on this aircraft. I'll have to go and find it. The HUD that flips down. Anyways, let's put that away. We're at 10,000. That means 90 nights can go off. What we will do is we will be entering nighttime fairly soon. We'll turn the logo on. The strobes anti-collision on. It should have been on already. And the wing. What we will do also, TCAS needs to be turned on. Let's turn on that TCAS. And then speed up to 330 knots. I see every time you change the livery of the aircraft, they reset some adjustments. So everyone sitting in the back now has lost connection on their phone because the Wi-Fi antenna's gone. So we want to get the Wi-Fi antenna back, right? Obviously. We're going to have a look at our progress. Yeah, this is the other thing. This tells us we're 90 nautical miles to our top of climb. That's one thing that
exit runway when able.
little nav map didn't say. But if we go to menu here, we're going to go to... I'm trying to remember where... Okay. PMDG setup. Aircraft. Equipment. Now, it's 17 pages worth here. Now, if I remember correctly, I want to go to...
121.85 for Azul 89er.
Oh, here's the... No, is it? No, this is not it. I'm looking for... window shades. Oh yeah, put them on. There we go. Wi-Fi antenna. We would like to have it, please.
Wind 172 at 10.
Now,
Land runway 18.
let's go back. Usually I will have this on progress.
Clear to land runway 18 Donner Hotel Dash.
There's the Wi-Fi antenna. There. Just that little touch on the top of the aircraft. Alright, we're climbing through 15,000. Everything seems under control. Wow, look at that. I'd say that's quite pretty. Some lens flare action. Alrighty then. I will see you guys when we begin to start our descent. cadets, it is time to begin our descent. Once again, we've got, if you remember correctly from the previous flight, we've got the same fuel warning. We know what that is now. We have a look down here, we see the center tanks are now empty. So we just go upstairs and turn the center tanks off. Okay, so if we have a look at the overhead panel, it's so dark now, we want to get some better light in here. So we're going to turn the dome light on to dim, otherwise bright is obviously too bright. Yeah, I think that's better. Face forward, business faces on now, because now we're going to do a night landing. The sun is almost gone, and wow, we were treated to a spectacular sunset. Let us begin our descent. Now, I have flown to Belém once before, and that was about 6 months ago, and I remember it being quite hilly around. So I'm gonna descend to a 5,000. Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy too. 5,000 for the time being, and then we will assess once we approach. Now, let's have a look at little nav map. This is going to be fun. So, I am expecting, yeah, okay. I don't see much clouds at the moment, but that's going to change, I'm sure. I'm expecting and hoping for runway 06. Why? Because 06 has got ILS, whereas a runway 24 does not. So let's plan for 06. 109.3 is the ILS frequency. So, okay, now I've just, that's going to be problematic when there we go. So I'm going to put that away. Properly, please. Thank you. Goodness gracious me. What did we say? Oh, 109.3. So we're going to go down here, and on the nav radios we're going to program 109.3 set, and we're going to do the same on the other side. Set. Okay, we're also going to note that runway 06 has a magnetic heading of 65. That means I'm going to slide on over to the autopilot panel. I'm going to set 65. Landing at night at a fairly unknown airport, you have to have your wits about you. Okay. Descending at 1,800 feet per minute. Course is set 65. We've got the ILS set on both the captain and first officer's nav frequencies. If we get to the point where we realize that suddenly some cloud and we can't see the runway, we might have to do a initial auto land, but the moment you see that runway we can deactivate. I need to turn the gear onto the off position. I did not do that on the climb. Naughty me. Every flight has your learning curves. Okay, we are descending. So at this point we need to find out, are we descending fast enough? We should be, because I started our descent about 140 nautical miles away. So to figure that out, we're going to go to this dial here and zoom us out. There we go. Right, so there's SBBE, the ICAO code for the airport, or for Belém. We can see our green banana, which represents where we will reach, 5,000 feet, is behind it. So clearly that's not going to work. So we're going to speed up our descent. We'll make it 2,000, and we're going to try and slow ourselves down. I see we haven't, that's bad on me, that's why we're having issues. We haven't slowed down the airspeed. Learning curves, every single flight. Right, so that should slow us down. Now we can see our airspeed is decreasing slightly, and we've increased our vertical speed. But of course, the two are directly proportional. If you increase your rate of descent, your speed's going to increase. So which one do you want? But that small adjustment has already improved our green banana situation. So that's good. Soon we're going to find out if we can contact. But what we're going to do, let's get the little nav map over and let's have a look. We are hoping for runway 06. So let's have a look at the waypoints. I'm looking here and I'm liking the look of, let's see. Jara is a good one. So what I'm going to do, I've got my little pen and paper here with me. I'm going to write down Jara as the one. I'm going to choose BE016. BE016. Now, let's see if that works. So we'll put little nav map away. We're going to go down to our FMC and we're going to go menu. Well, we're going to go to legs and we're going to try BE016. And we're going to put that in here. It's happy with it, so that's good. Then after that we're going to have JARA, and that will be the final approach. Not in database. Okay, so it doesn't have JARA in the database. You have to find another one, but one that's going to be on the lineup of the runway. So I think it's going to be BE394. Let's put that in. BE394. Not in database. Goodness gracious me. Alright. Let's have a look on little nav map. CI06, we can try that. What about this? BE368. What about BE368? Okay, thank goodness, it's happy with that. That means we can click on SBBE and put him in here. Execute. Now we should see the aircraft turn to the left. There we go, that's what we want to see. And let's okay, let's leave the bank angle where it is. And let's press B to set the altimeter to the local QNH. Let's bring that altitude down to 4,000, 3,002 actually. Right, let's see if we can contact the airport. Okay, I don't see her in that list. Not in that list. There she is. Okay. Now let's hope it's runway 06.
Belém Tower Commander 736 is 63 miles southeast, flight level 185 with uniform to land.
Commander 736 Belém Tower. Altimeter 29.84, wind 150 at 10. Enter left traffic runway 06.
That's what we wanted.
Fly left downwind runway 06 Commander 736.
Great. Now let's have another look at a little nav map. You'll see how we have diverted from our course. We're heading to these waypoints to line ourselves up with the runway. Okay, we're passing through a 16,500. Everything looks under control. We're now at 285. Still slowing down. Now that I've told the aircraft we need to descend to 3,000, we have to have another look over here. We're looking good. In fact, I can now tell the aircraft 2,500. Now, I'm not going to go below 2,500 because I think 2,500 is the height to be when you enter the green feather in order for the ILS to start working. The green feather is of course what I'm talking about here. Also, that's 2,500 feet over the ground, not over sea level. Always need to keep that in mind. But look, there's the sea and there's the airport. We're pretty much at sea level. The Amazon, by the way, is this river here. The mouth of the Amazon. While we're doing our descent, I'll tell you a little bit about Belém. It's the capital city and the largest city of the state of Pará in northern Brazil. It's located at the mouth of the Amazon River and serves as an important gateway to the Amazon rainforest. The city itself was founded in 1616 by the Portuguese and played a significant role during the rubber boom in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Rubber, you say? It's known for its vibrant culture, scene and rich culinary heritage. It's famous for dishes like tacacá. Sounds fascinating. A traditional soup made with tucupi, which is a yellow broth. And that must be it over there. The city is a hub for scientific research and environmental conservation. The Museo Perense Emilio Goeldi is one of the oldest research institutions in the Amazon region, focusing on biology, anthropology, and biodiversity. There goes a highway underneath us. And obviously, it's the departure point for river cruises along the Amazon River, allowing visitors to explore the vastness of the Amazon rainforest, encounter diverse wildlife, and experience the unique culture of riverside communities. Let's jump outside. We're only at 10,000 now. Okay, so 10,000 feet, which means we should not be going faster than 250. We're currently at 290. So, what do? We're going to put the speed brakes out. Putting the speed brakes or the spoilers out is one thing. Remembering to put them back in, that's a completely different thing. Okay, we're slowing. Very slowly though, but already breaking the law. And oh wait, that's why our auto throttle was still on 280. Let's take it down to 240. Let's slow us down nicely. 240, even 230. Now we're going to have our wits about us. Okay, landing lights can go on. As we begin our approach, we can turn the lights down slightly. There we go. Just like you would when you're driving a car on the highway in the middle of nowhere. You don't want your instrument lights on too bright. And with pilots, that's especially true. Because you don't have a lit up road in front of you. There's practically nothing out there. Okay, we got some cloud coming. I do see a flashing red light. It's that a tower or a plane. No, wait. There he goes. Wait. That's a plane. Or it could be a... Is it moving? Can't tell. Either. Right, so now we can begin our... Let's zoom out a bit here. So there we go. So we can see the story. Okay, 255. So I'm going to put the spoilers back in. Alright. If you were listening very carefully, and you would know if you've ever flown before on an airliner like this, putting the spoilers out creates a bit of a rumble and a bit of a shake to the aircraft. Let's slow that descent. Whoopsie daisy. Don't need to be going that steep, because then also we start speeding up again, which we don't want. That is definitely another aircraft. That's an aircraft. And it's on final. There's Belém, and I think I see the runway. Okay, so what I'm going to do now so is take the magnification. There we go.
Belém Tower generic Papa Romeo, Foxtrot Whiskey Mike is 1 mile south, 300 feet with uniform to land.
Alright, so
Papa Romeo, Foxtrot
I'm just going to adjust that altitude
altimeter
to 2.8.
4 wind 150 at 10.
Right, we're going to level up now because we're fairly low. Okay, let's slow us down. We need to slow us down. Slowing us down to 190. 180 even, and very soon we're going to start introducing a bit of flap. We are going to... Okay, we're not there yet. I don't want to jump the gun.
Cleared for takeoff runway 06 Cessna Papa Romeo, November Delta Kilo.
Okay. Looking acceptable at this stage. Let's have a look. See. Course is set. We're probably going to be using the approach. We've selected approach, so that is basically the ILS. Okay, we've reached 180. Now we can add some flap. Got a little orange light on there. Okay, so
Cessna November Delta Kilo contact Manaus Center on 124.8.
I am
Good day.
hesitant to go a little lower than this. But it's only 300 feet. Let's do it.
Going to 124.8 Cessna November Delta Kilo.
A gentle. Okay, let's slow us down even more. Take us to 160 and let's give us some more flap. Okay, so if I have a look out the window, I think we're okay with height. When pilots say height, they mean distance above the ground. When they say altitude, that's distance above sea level. So I think we'll be okay. Yeah, there's the runway, you can see it. There's that other aircraft that's just taken off. We are beginning a turn. We've reached the first waypoint.
Generic Foxtrot Whiskey Mike wind 150 at 8.
Add more
Cleared to
flap.
land runway 06.
Gear down. Set the altimeter.
Cleared to land runway 06 Generic Foxtrot Whiskey Mike.
More flap. Okay, now we are going to go back to approach mode. We are also going to set command on both. Okay, it won't allow us to do that yet. Okay, we're looking okay. We've got a little bit of a nose up attitude. We want a bit more flap to counter that. We are now going to arm the spoilers. So now we're waiting for this to line up. I think we need to lose some altitude. Okie dokie, this is very tricky.
2500.
There's our turn onto, let's go to approach. Oh wow, we're actually quite high. Okay, so I'm going to take control. We're going to go
Commander 736 follows the generic on final. Wind 150 at 8. Cleared to land runway 06.
There we go. Everything's fine, everyone. Hold on to your socks.
Commander 736, please acknowledge.
Right. We need to acknowledge.
Clear to land runway 06 Commander 736.
Thanks, Bob. Okay, let's go full flap. Well, luckily it was a clear night tonight, so we don't have to worry about autoland. Okay, so let's have a look at our glide slope. We are high, so we're just going to idle the engines and lose some height. We've got full flap and
Traffic.
gear is down. They might ask us to go around because there's someone ahead of us, and we're probably the fastest one in the sky. They did tell us to follow traffic on final. I don't see anyone though.
500. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Yeah, there's a plane right in front of us. We're overtaking them.
300.
Well, if we've overtaken them, we've got right of way to land. That's what I'm going to say.
Commander 736, go around.
100.
Gear up, flaps up. They've asked us to go around.
Going around Commander 736.
Generic Foxtrot Whiskey Mike, go around.
Okay. We're going to do a standard left-hand circuit here. Sorry everyone, we didn't expect the AI traffic to get in the way.
Going around generic Foxtrot Whiskey Mike.
Okay, let's do this go around pretty quickly. I'll fast forward this bit for you guys until we're back on final.
5 minutes later.
Clear to land runway 06 generic Foxtrot Whiskey Mike.
Okay, so we're back on final,
2500.
and interestingly we have activated the autopilot again for approach mode. And it's not happy with me. It's fine. We'll do it ourselves. We'll do it ourselves. The alarms can go off. Thank you. We are happy to not worry about the autopilot. And gear can go down. This is one approach I'm happy to forget about. Perhaps we'll have some more decent nighttime landings in the future. I have noticed some of the less well-known airfields in the flight simulator have a bit sketchy ILS approaches. Okay, we're going a bit fast, but now, this time, there's no aircraft in front of us.
Sync rate.
Don't worry about the sync rate.
500.
Don't worry about the 500 either. Everything's under control.
400.
Speed brakes are still armed.
300. 200. 50, 30, 20, 10.
Flare. Oh. Oh. Hey, there's a car that almost crashed into me. What's that up ahead? It's just too, Well, here we are. Finally, welcome to Belém.
Commander 736, exit runway when able.
Alright, if I know where runway is. Right, you just be patient for me, please, Mrs. Controller. Alright, so I see there is no taxiway. There's a place further down for me to turn around. I've got a little nav map on the screen next to me, so I'll be able to see. But you know what, as we know, this aircraft can turn on a dime. And we'll just turn around here.
Commander 736, exit runway when able.
Yes, ma'am. Attempting to do so.
Generic Foxtrot Whiskey Mike, go around.
Yeah, go around. This time it's your turn to go around. Okay, we're not going to make this turn.
Going around
What
generic
was that?
Foxtrot Whiskey Mike.
Let's clean the aircraft up. We want to take the flaps all the way up. Here's that go around
Commander
taxiway.
736, turn next taxiway.
Well, you decided to have a silly runway with no taxiway at the end of it. So now I have to turn around.
Commander 736, contact ground on 121.9.
How's that? Okay. We're going to go to ATC. We're going to now contact ground.
Going to 121.9er Commander 736.
Taxi to gates.
Belém ground Commander 736 taxi to the gate.
Going to 121.9er Commander 736.
Taxi to gate 1.
Taxiing to gate 1 via taxiway cross runway 20 Alpha Commander 736.
Taxi to
Going
gate
to
1, he says.
121.9er Commander 736.
There we are. So, turn around here, take the other runway, and then turn off there. Goodness gracious me. Right, let's do it. So that other aircraft that's in the circuit now must just take his time. Just do a couple of orbits. For those non-aviation experts out there, an orbit is what traffic control asks you to do if they're not ready for you, which is basically fly in a tight circle until we tell you otherwise. Let's turn that off. And yeah, after this flight, I think that'll be it for nighttime flying for the next few flights. Now that alarm that you hear, that happens when we go a bit more full throttle than the plane likes, when we don't have takeoff flaps set. Right, so at this point we're just keeping an eye on a little nav map and where our plane is. We're going to be turning left onto this a runway here, and then we're going to slip in here and then park in our assigned runway. Assigned parking, beg yours. Here is that runway, which came up sooner than I expected. Oh, who's playing chicken with us? So, it's a standoff, is it? You know too much. Okay, we'll just drive around him. Okay, thanks, bub. Right, here be this taxiway. Alright, so we can park next to all the other big jets. I think finding our way to our parking took longer than the actual flight did. Goodness. Right, our gate is gate 1, which is directly ahead. I don't think the staff planned this too well. That is cutting it close. But we'll miss it. Okay, everyone, welcome to Belém. It was an absolute pleasure having you with us on this flight. I do hope to see you again when we do our next flight. And our next flight is a special one. Our next flight, we are flying to St. Martin. And we'd better polish our tires because there's a good chance that they'll be knocking some heads off some tourists. Thanks a lot, guys. This is Commander Andrews signing off.